fearless side counsellors who brought the judicial review for us. Howard's got what we call this like a cancelled in the form tab. He comes to many of our protests as well. Now, one of the reasons we all want clean air, let's just make that clear. But all motorcycles should be exempt from ULEZ, and they are indeed in every single clean air zone in the whole country, except London. Pre-2008 motorcycles are not exempt automatically. They have to prove that they're compliant. And they have to prove that they're compliant because there's no data on the logbook. The reason there's no data on the logbook is because the emissions were so low they decided it wasn't worth recording. You couldn't make it up. So we're asking for Sadiq Khan to at least back off a little bit and make all motorcycles exempt, because let's not forget, a motorcycle makes a 10-minute journey in 10 minutes. Sometimes less if they're only using one wheel. But we won't talk about that. But a car might take 20 minutes, half an hour, even 45 minutes to make that 10-minute journey. So even the cleanest motorcycle, even the cleanest car is still going to pollute more than a not very clean motorcycle, because a motorcycle, as you know, you get from A to B fairly quickly. So we do need to knock this on the head. We need to get Sadiq Khan to listen. Indeed, many of you who are from Surrey and outside London don't get a say on who the Mayor of London is, but you still have to pay your £12.50 a day charge. And that money doesn't go to you, it goes to TfL, and TfL's wasted all that money already. I'm not going to chat for too long, because I want to get some of these guys to come and say hello to you. Howard's near me, so I'm going to put Howard on first. Howard, come and say hello, and this is Howard Cox, everybody.
Hey. Hello everyone, can you all hear me? Yeah? I'm just wiping away the tears. The England football girls did us proud, didn't they? And it's a shame, you know, they didn't do it because we put one over the guys. But that's another matter. Yeah, my name's Howard Cox. I'm standing for Reform UK as the London mayoral candidate, and 50 years ago I started voting Tory, and I voted every year, every election for 50 years. Never ever again. And that's the point. And I've been asked by so many people to stand or even set up a party, etc. And I was approached by the fabulous Richard Tice, and I've also approached by a certain Nigel Farage, and I think there's a few fans of him here. But what we've got to do is got to get rid of this dishonest mayor. I've done some interviews this morning. You probably heard, and it's in the Daily Mail, Sunday Mail, whatever it's called, that Sadiq Khan regards white families are not Londoners. I repeat, white families not as Londoners. I've actually written this morning to Keir Starmer and asked him to suspend Sadiq Khan from the proud UK Labour Party, because he's basically a racist, and we can't do this anymore. So I'm asking you guys, and I really mean this from the bottom of my heart. That's in the last mayoral election, there's about 45% didn't vote. If you're one of those who didn't vote last time, please vote this time. We've got to get rid of this dishonest, lying, pathological liar of a mayor. We've got to get rid of him. And that's one thing I agree with you. Listen to Simon. He's a Tory guy. Yeah, I won't hold it against him, but I promise you that I will do everything possible to get rid of this man in City Hall. And I welcome your support on this. And don't forget, there's a lot of things that have happened. He manipulated a public consultation agreement. I also ran a campaign called Fairfield UK. If it wasn't for Fairfield UK, you'd be paying about 80p more for diesel and petrol. And that's what we've done. We've frozen fuel duty for the last something like 13 years. And that's one reason why Richard Tyson and Nigel Farage asked me to come along, because they know I'm a decent campaigner. I'm not a politician, and I promise you here, all you guys here, I will make London the most motorbike-friendly city in the world. That is a promise, and from the heart. So I really welcome your support.
Thank you for that, Howard. And no doubt you'll all understand that I agree with 99% of what Howard just said there. But first of all, I want to thank you for coming here today. You've had a fantastic turn. Give yourselves a round of applause. What amazing people you are for turning up and coming here today, and a fantastic weather that we've got. So it's absolutely brilliant. So I just want to add a couple of things. I think that the Conservative government could act and stop this tomorrow. They could get Mr. Harper to use section 143 of the Greater London Authority Act 1999 and get Khan to stop this tomorrow. And we should be writing to every MP, no matter where you live, in London, out of London, and make sure that they are aware that Mr. Harper has to act. He should be protecting you. In the 1980s, it was the Conservative government that protected people from excessive rate rises by loony left councils. They took the rates out of it, they introduced rate capping, they took the business rates out of their hands because they were being decimated by really radical councils. And we've got a radical mayor now that is decimating everybody, and particularly the poorest in outer London. And it's really important that we stick up and that the government sticks up for those people, because they are desperate. They need someone to help them and be on their side. And hopefully you'll all be part of that. So again, thank you for coming today. You've been absolutely brilliant. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Simon Forthrock, Bonding Council. I just want to introduce you to Lembit now. This is Lembit from Motorcycle Action Group. You'll see the big banner on the bus here. So, ladies and gents, let's give Lembit a big cheer, please.
Thanks very much. When I got elected to Parliament, I thought it was about serving the public, not destroying their liberty. It's the other way round now in London. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm ashamed of my former profession. People like Sadiq Khan have decided that you work for him, and it's vanity projects. Projects which do absolutely nothing to improve the health of London, but destroy the interests of the least wealthy who are being forced out of London. As Howard and all my colleagues have said, we are part of the solution, not the problem. Sadiq Khan's idiotic, self-serving vanity projects are the problem. He has been asked politely. He's been given the data. There are leaks which show that he knows this doesn't work. It could come down to the thousands of us now to make Sadiq Khan realise if he doesn't serve us, he doesn't get our vote. The Motorcycle Action Group will fight again to defend the two-wheel liberties that you love. It's time for the general public to now say to our politicians, leave our road rights alone or get out of that job. The promise I make on behalf of the 57,000 motorcyclists in MAG is that we will not let this happen if there's a fibre in our body to prevent it. And I'm proud to work with a wide coalition of people, and you've heard some of them already, one of whom is in fact standing for Mayor of London, to say enough is enough. Thanks for coming today, and I can promise you, as long as there's any energy left in my body, I will be standing up saying, Sadiq Khan, pack your bags, and let somebody who actually understands what it means to be in a democracy serve people who say no to ULEZ.
Thank you, Lembit. Ladies and gents, this is Phil Elliott, also known as Phil ULEZ.
Or Box Hill Phil, as it used to be back in the day. Many years ago, when we'd be down here, and this car park was like this all them times ago when Jack was running it. Jack, running the car park. If Jack was here today, this car park would have been absolutely running like clockwork. So bless old Jack. But guys, thank you so much for turning up today. Thank you very much. It's a great turnout. Oh,
Just a quickie from me. I forgot to mention. Stand back there. I forgot to mention that I am the only candidate who's going to get rid of all ULEZ, not just the expansion, all of it. It will go, so we can actually get through London without paying a thing. I'm also going to be looking and putting in place how much or what benefit the congestion charge. Because as you know, I'll give you an example. There's a midwife that works at St Thomas's Hospital, and she works a double shift, and she's got an old Peugeot 10 whatever it is, and she gets about 60 miles a gallon on her diesel, and she has to pay £15 congestion charge and £12.50 for the ULEZ on 2 days over a shift, and she earns 80 quid. That's 56 quid of that money's gone to Sadiq Khan. There are people that can't get out their driveways now, who, if they do, they pay £12.50. This is madness, absolute madness, but I promise you it will become a motor-friendly city, and Reform UK will get London moving again. Thank you.
I trust this man in Howard we trust. Thank you very much, Howard. Well, look, I'm not going to hold you anymore because at the end of the day, we're just down here. We've had a fantastic riding, no doubt. Beautiful weather. The sun is shining. The burgers are ready to be munched over there, and the coffees are great. So I just want to say thank you again. We have got a lot of things coming up in the future. It's not just ULEZ. We've got many, many things in the pipeline because with net zero and other issues that are going to be affecting us all, not just the ULEZ. I can guarantee you, I'm a tenacious. I think that's the word, tenacious. I'm a rat. When I stick myself into something, I will get it done. And with Howard and many other people that are backing us across this country, we are going to get things sorted. We are not going to take this rubbish anymore from government. We are not going to take it sitting down. We're going to give them some stick. A little bit of South London's going to come in, and we're going to straighten a few things up in government because we can, and we will. Any other notes? Anything else?
Black pins matter. If you know what black pins are, you know what black pins matter.
Indeed. Right, okay. Anyone else? You can blame me, I suppose, but I will not take all the credit because if it wasn't for the guys, Chris from Unity Riders, we've got Motorcycle Action Group here, we've got all the guys that do the driving in from around the various points and places. They've been fantastic. Kingsley with the bus, and well, of course, Nick Arnett, who is indeed a legend. That's his van there. It's brilliant. Right, Nick has asked me to ask any of you guys on the 29th of this month, yeah? On the 29th, there's going to be a little meeting, I believe, outside Downing Street. Outside Downing Street on the 29th, there's a few people going down to let a certain Mr. Rishi Sunak know that we're not happy. So if anyone fancies a little ride out, a little trip to London, well, Downing Street, that's what it's going to be, and we're going to make a little bit of a racket. So, on that happy note, thank you again. Thank you so much.
Just one, Nick, did you want to say? Just a quick one. Also, we have the coalition that was mentioned was the Together Coalition, the Together Declaration. They've helped us do a multi-organisation coalition against ULEZ. Obviously, we agree and disagree on various things, but on this issue, we're united and as we all stick together on that. One thing, another thing. Over to Phil.
Sorry guys, time's always good. 29th of August, 12 o'clock, Downing Street, ripping it up down there. That'd be much appreciated. 12 o'clock, lunchtime in Downing Street. Thank you very much.
Little young lady, sorry I didn't get a name. I'm saying little young lady. You want to say?
I mean, I just say thank you to everybody for organising this and for everybody coming. It's absolutely fantastic. I work with and support Howard, and I just wanted to make sure that everybody got their due credit for today because I think it's amazing and that everybody's standing up and coming together to do this. So everybody, continue and thank you. That's it. But thank you for calling me young lady. Don't laugh at that after having said it.
Thank you. I just want to hear from anybody. Is there anyone here who's got a ridiculous ULEZ story? Like, for example, you've got a 50cc bike that's as clean as a whistle, and yet for some reason it's non-compliant. If you do, come up and say hello. There's a few stories like that. I know. I don't know if Louise is still here. Louise, is she here? Where's Louise? Louise. Hello, Louise. Can I pick you? Is that all right? Yeah. So Louise has got a CG125, or did have. I don't know if it's still the same. No. Okay. She's got a bigger bike now because she passed the test. I'm getting a slap wrist. But you can come and say hello anyway. Tell us about your ULEZ woes. So this is Louise Lemon, ladies and gents. She spoke at Sutton Council on our behalf. Did a very good speech.
Hiya. So I used to have a 125. I work in a supermarket. I start work at 3 in the morning. For me, I would be walking to work for an hour because I couldn't ride my 125. And if you think about the pay for supermarket work, it would have been pointless. So that's what he thinks about women's safety as well. So he doesn't mind us walking in the dark. All our children who are working late shifts will have to walk in the dark because we can't afford a bigger car, a more compliant car, or a bike.
Just a quick point on that. Thank you, Louise. Well done. So that 125 could be compliant if she pays £170 to TfL's partner company that will test the bike and say what we already know, it's not polluting much, and it's compliant. It is absolute nonsense, so we need to get all you bikers on board. I know some of you have got compliant vehicles, but we still need you to be with us on this, alright? Guys and girls, ladies and gents, give yourselves a big cheer and a big roar. Right, thank you. I'm going to put some music on now. Alright, cheers. Right, just going to have a quick chat with Chris here, because Chris has just given us a bit of information. So Chris has got a Fireblade, is that right? Honda Fireblade. What year is it? So 2001. Now he says he's written to Honda and asked for a certificate of conformity. Did that cost you anything? Right, okay. So what does that certificate of conformity do? Could you just explain what it is, how it's managed to make your vehicle compliant?
Basically, it's brake. Like, you give them your engine code, you have to sign a document to say the vehicle's yours. And what they do is they send you a document back that gives you all the NOx levels and everything in paperwork. Then when you register with TfL, you can prove that information because you've got it from Honda for your chassis number and your engine code, and then hopefully you'll be compliant if your NOx levels conform.
So what it says it's based on NOx levels. Okay, so that's interesting. So that's a 2001 Honda Fireblade that he's managed to get as compliant. Now that's a 900, isn't it? It's not 1,000. Yeah, 900. Right. So my old one is not compliant as well. Yeah. My hands are bits as well because I was stupid and didn't wear gloves. So make sure you wear gloves. Right. Okay. So. It might be worth doing that, ladies and gents. If you can, get hold of your manufacturer. Most of your motorcycles will be ULEZ compliant if you can get a certificate of conformity from your manufacturer. So apparently, they're free for the first one, but if you lose it, you have to pay for another one. So get onto your manufacturers, Yamaha, Honda, Kawasaki, etc., and see if you can get a certificate of conformity. Send it to TfL. This will hopefully get your vehicle to be compliant.
I have a similar problem. I've got a Suzuki Hayabusa, and my daughter got onto Suzuki about the NOx level. The Suzuki say they don't get the NOx level. So I can't find out from Suzuki whether my bike's compliant or not. But Mr. Khan's decided it isn't. But he can't get the information, but still decides it's non-compliant. So I have to now take it to an authorised test centre, there's only a couple of them, and pay a whole load of money to get it compliant. And everyone's telling me it will probably comply anyway. It's got fuel injection and it's got probably at the standard type. So it should pass, but according to him it don't. And I have to pay for all this at my own expense, and he couldn't care less. Anyway, that's about me.
Thank you. Yeah, no, that's the valid point. So there are testing facilities where you can take your motorcycles to get them compliant. Obviously, they cost money. I think it's £170. It's like putting it on a dyno. We shouldn't have to pay that cost because it should be a case of you prove that I'm in the wrong, not I have to prove that I'm in the right. I've got one other gentleman just wants to say something.
Yeah, I've got a 98 Ducati 916, I wrote off Ducati. Ducati UK, they sent it to Honda, and they came back with a letter of conformity from Ducati. But then you have to go to the TFL, show them the certificate with various other information documents and so on. I done that months ago and they've not even got back to me, which is really annoying. So I've done it twice since and they've still not got back to me. The third time I've actually taken all the serial numbers of the information that I sent them, and I'm going to give them another, I don't know, another 3 or 4 weeks, because obviously it's going to be due soon, hopefully they'll be able to check that I put it through several times. But I don't know why they're not getting back to people as well.
Have you sent that by the post or via email?
No, I've done it all online, because they've got a contact us page, and they've got a section where you can download the documents from your computer and you send it off to them. And then they get last time I did take a note of the actual serial number of the inquiry. So I'm going to give them a bit more time and then go back to them and say, like, why haven't you got back to me on this? So I'm guessing they're probably pretty inundated, but at the end of the day, it's taking too long.
Yeah, I think this is the thing, because it's being rushed through so quickly. They are being inundated and they can't cope with these inquiries. Again, this is another reason why they should just blanket exempt motorcycles. A lot of these people are going to these testing facilities. They're all passing. We already know they're going to pass. But yet you're now £170 out of pocket for doing this test or that test, or and you're just chasing constantly with certificates of conformity. But just a suggestion, maybe try writing to them a recorded delivery, and so they've, I don't know if that's going to make any difference or not. Have a go.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously I'm going to say give them a couple more weeks or so, and then I will ring them up, because in the interim ones I've done it 3 times. The interim one, they asked me for the number that they, the reference number, if you like, and I couldn't give them that because I didn't take a note of it. But the last time I have done, so I'm saying, give me another couple of weeks and then ring them up and say, look, well, why haven't you got back to me on this? Because obviously now I'm going to have to pay £12.50 if I take this bike into the
or buy some gaffer tape.
Yeah, well, it's just frustrating for everyone, all this, and like you've reiterated, all the people that can't afford it, or go to work in the zone and that, small cars and stuff like that, they're clearly okay. It's just really frustrating for everyone.
Okay, so just quickly, because I've just muted down this section, music playing in the background, as we know YouTube algorithms tend to demonetise us for things like that, so I've just quietened this very quickly. What you're going to see coming up, I'm going to give a shout out to Lash Love for catching this interview. Is a chat with Len Bikopic, as we know, former Lib Dem MP, and what a great guy he is. So before. Well done. Getting those out.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we've
got to get them out, haven't we?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's the missing link that a lot of people don't understand, isn't it?
Yeah. This is actually doing us a favour, because this is tangible.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
The people go, oh, okay. See, you've now got that crumb that says they're doing this, and we kind of know about the paper mile thing they want to do.
Yeah.
What else?
What else?
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But is it not enough already?
Yeah.
Not enough, they can't see it. A lot of people can't put the pieces of the jigsaw together, they don't understand it.
Yeah. But
I'm going to go and speak to, is it the mayor?
oh, Howard Cox. What
Is it Howard Cox?
is perspective? Yeah,
the one
it's
that's
standing.
just announced that he's going to, when he gets in, he's going to stop all the ULEZ, all the charges.
Yeah, Howard Cox. Yeah.
Has he told the World Economic Forum about that?
Probably not.
No.
I personally met David Curtin.
Yeah, the Heritage Party.
Yes,
yeah.
He coming down and talk where we are in South End. Very genuine guy.
Yeah.
We get him.
absolutely. Yeah, as I say.
Yeah, because we've got the 15-minute city in Canterbury. We've done a lot of work.
Oh,
down
so you're from
there.
Canterbury?
No, I'm Maidstone.
Oh,
but
okay.
We were doing a lot of the yellow boards down there,
Yeah.
raising awareness of the 15-minute cities.
I used to live in Waltham.
In where?
Waltham, near Chartermatch. Do you know Chartermatch?
No.
It's a little village about 5 miles out of Canterbury.
Oh, I don't know.
I did the. I was on security for New Line Learning Academy when that was built, so I know the area quite well.
Okay. Well, we managed to stop the 15-minute city
Yeah.
idea, but that won't be the end of it.
No.
What they're doing, they're just replace it with a low traffic neighbourhood
Yeah,
or a
try and bring
20-minute
something
lane.
else
Yeah,
in.
they're doing something else. But I think maybe we've slowed it down.
Yeah.
We've raised awareness. We've got the message out there. People don't want it.
That's the thing, yeah.
They've done it in Oxford, haven't they? Now.
Yeah, Oxford's a different. I think the mindset with places like Oxford. I'm a little bit surprised in Canterbury there was as big a pushback as it was, because it's a, well, it's a university city, and when they lost their Tory Bernard Jenkins, I think, was their previous MP before the Labour got in. He used to have a big majority, and then all of a sudden he lost his seat by a few hundred votes. So it was surprising that that the university city suddenly woke up, and well, I said woke up, but they suddenly decided to go out and vote and get him out, and then they got their Labour MP in. I don't know how the situation sits now, because I've only been back to Canterbury twice, I think, and that was for the worldwide freedom protest, which happens in every city around the world. There'll be dates coming up if you go on Telegram. You can look it up, worldwide protest, and it's basically every city in the world, be a certain day, well, everyone will stand up in those respective cities. I went down to Canterbury for the, it was back over COVID, and they had some very good talkers. They had Mike Keaton, he told he was getting banned everywhere. I managed to get him up on my channel, with a little bit of jiggery-pokery. I managed to get him up on my channel. And on the second one they had Big Start, Guardians 300, which is about common law. They had Anna de Wesseret, Lawyers for Liberty, and they had Noel McRae as well, who was Unite for England workers, and their group was the ones that were standing up for the care workers that were getting sacked and disciplined and all that over the vaccine mandate. So that was a really useful. That was a very, very useful meeting, protest, because we actually learned things. But they are still going on in London. The protests still go on.
It's getting big, isn't it?
Yeah, it's getting bigger, and obviously with this with the ULEZ, the paper mile, and trying to stop cash and all the rest of it, it's getting on. But I'm finding now that the people obviously are on board with the ULEZ predominantly, and the use of cash as well. People are getting their heads around the fact that we need to keep using cash.
I'm going to get I've got 100, I need to get them out. Is
Oh, have
everyone
you?
starting to go?
I think so. I'm literally,
these out
I'm literally going to have a quick walk around and fuck off back to
What's your
seven. Adam. Somewhere. Here it is. There we go.
Well, good to see you. Yeah.
Limbic. Great to meet you, Limbic.
One sec. Oh, sorry. Hang on, Gareth, hold on 1 minute. Okay.
So remind me,
To you or to camera. My name's Len Matopic. I'm Director of Communications for the Motorcycle Action Group.
So what's going on here then? What's the plan? What do you feel about the ULEZ?
Bikers are quite patient people, we try to fit in. But when there's something as unjust as a tax on people who reduce congestion and reduce pollution, well, then it's just too much for riders. What's going on here is a statement to a man whose wages we pay, so he can't. You have to obey what we tell you, otherwise you can get fired. And the simple way to put that is ULEZ has no health benefit. Nothing has been demonstrated. ULEZ certainly isn't a problem when it comes to motorcycles, but your attitude, your virtue signalling nonsense is a big problem for hundreds of thousands of road users in London. And Mag is saying, if you don't obey us, if you don't listen to what we're telling you, then you don't get our vote. So it's really down to you to be calm. Are you going to keep your promises, or are you just going to walk away?
Bikers here at
that he's in charge. He can't back out of the responsibility now. Sadiq Khan's followed this rather mysterious group called the C40, which is a bunch of mayors from around the world who've all agreed that they can restrict the civil liberties of the people they're meant to serve. They've created a kind of dictatorship where they claim that our health is so important that they can take our rights away, our choices away, to protect us. And they go on about the environment as if they have the solution to a non-existent climate crisis. And
thank you, I'm so glad you said that.
And, well, let's be honest, there is no climate emergency. I've been studying this since 1978. That's roughly a third of the history of climatology. CO2, that's this killer gas, actually follows temperature change, it doesn't lead it. And that's just in the record. Anyone can find that out. So we have this McCarthyist witch hunt against people who dare to ride motorcycles or fly planes, unless of course you're a world leader, in which case you can produce as much CO2 as you want. And sadly Sadiq Khan is one of the people on the wrong side of history here. And he's restricting London and pretty much destroying its economic viability, handing the economic keys to other countries, especially China, in the name of curing a crisis that doesn't exist. There are so many things wrong with Sadiq Khan's approach. It's time we either get him to obey what his paymasters, namely we, are telling him, or he should pack his bags and get someone who is competent to do the job, get on with it.
What's your advice to the people impacted by these ULEZ charges?
Many people have given up. They say, well, there's nothing we can do about the ultimate emission zones, the pointless expansion of cycle lanes for a tiny middle class minority, the removal of our freedoms and the false belief there's a climate crisis. To those people I say, you are now in a majority. Don't be fooled by this tiny, bleating, green minority who can afford to do all these things, or they just hate the state. Stand up with the hundreds of thousands of people who will change their vote in London, the millions of people around the United Kingdom who won't vote for the green woke agenda, and recognise you're back in charge because they've gone too far, which means we have to take back control.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.